Is Elon Musk about to surprise the world once again? Recently, discussions about a new motor engine have started attracting the attention of the auto industry. It is being claimed that Tesla is working on a new motor technology that could completely change the performance, efficiency, and cost of electric vehicles. But the biggest question is, what is so special about this new engine? Is this the same technology that Tesla wants to use to make its vehicles more powerful and capable of delivering longer range than before? Or is there a bigger plan behind it that could change the future of the entire EV industry? Some reports are even suggesting that this new motor design could significantly reduce dependence on rare and expensive materials. So what technology has Elon Musk used in this new motor engine, and why could it shake up the entire EV market? Some interesting facts related to this new engine are also coming to light, and very few people know about them. When you learn about them, you may understand why Elon Musk considers it so important. Before we move ahead in the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can watch videos like this before anyone else. Why did Elon Musk feel the need for a new motor engine? Every new technology begins with a question. And for Tesla, that question was whether electric vehicles could be made even better than they are today. Over the last few years, Tesla has made significant progress in motor technology. The company's electric motors are already considered among the most efficient in the world. Because of them, Tesla vehicles have been able to deliver high speed, good range, and strong performance. But Elon Musk has always believed that no technology is ever final. It can always be improved. This is where the need for a new motor engine comes in. Today, the entire EV industry is facing a major challenge. Demand for electric vehicles is growing rapidly, but the cost of manufacturing them is still quite high. The expenses related to batteries, motors, and other essential components remain a major concern for companies. If electric vehicles are to reach every ordinary person around the world, their prices need to come down. There's also a limit to efficiency. Every motor loses some energy in the form of heat. Engineers continuously try to reduce this energy loss as much as possible, because the higher the efficiency, the less electricity is consumed and the farther a vehicle can travel. Tesla is working in the same direction. The company wants its future motors to use less energy and deliver even better performance. Another major issue is rare earth materials. Today, many electric motors use special magnets that require rare minerals. The supply of these minerals is limited, and a large part of the world depends on only a few countries for them. If there is any disruption in supply, production can be affected and costs can increase. That is why Tesla has been working for a long time on motor technology that depends less or not at all on rare earth materials. Reducing costs is also one of Elon Musk's biggest priorities. He believes that the real future of electric vehicles exists only when they become affordable for ordinary people. If the motor can be made cheaper and simpler, the overall cost of the vehicle can also be reduced. That is why Tesla continues to work on new designs and new manufacturing technologies. In reality, Elon Musk's goal is not just to build a better car. His vision is to move the world toward fully sustainable energy and electric transportation. To achieve that, technology is needed that is more affordable, more reliable, and capable of being produced on a massive scale. What is special about the new Tesla motor design? Whenever a new car is launched, people usually talk first about its range, speed, or price. But the truth is that the most important part of any electric vehicle is its motor. That is why whenever Tesla talks about a new motor design, the entire auto industry pays attention. Because Elon Musk is not known for making small changes to old designs. His goal has always been to create something that can change the direction of the entire industry. The information coming out about Tesla's new motor design suggests that the company is focusing not only on more power, but also on a smarter design. First, let's talk about motor architecture. Motor architecture means how all the parts inside the motor are designed and arranged. Tesla's goal is to make the motor simpler and more effective than before, so that more work can be done with fewer parts. At the same time, the company is also focusing on making the motor more compact. The biggest advantage of a compact design is that the motor takes up less space. When the motor is smaller, other components inside the vehicle can be fitted more efficiently. This also increases design flexibility and makes the production process easier. Reducing weight is also considered an important part of this new design. The lighter a vehicle is, the less energy it needs to move. That is why Tesla continues to look for solutions that can make the motor lighter. If the weight of the motor is reduced, the overall efficiency of the vehicle can improve, and it can also have a positive effect on range. But the most interesting part is higher power density. In simple words, it means getting more power from the motor without making it much larger. This is considered a major achievement for any modern electric motor, if a smaller motor can deliver more power. Vehicle performance can improve while also saving space. The cooling system is also very important in motor design. When a motor works continuously, it generates heat. Too much heat can affect both the motor's performance and its lifespan. That is why Tesla is also working on better cooling technology. If the motor stays cooler more effectively, it can continue delivering better performance for a longer time. Another major advantage of the new design is having fewer components. The fewer parts there are inside the motor, the lower the chances of failure can be. At the same time, the production process can become faster and easier. Fewer parts can also mean less complexity and lower costs. Rare earth-free motor. There is also a part inside the motor without which many modern electric motors simply cannot operate. These are rare earth magnets. The biggest reason Tesla's new motor is getting so much attention is because it is being said that the company is moving toward a motor that will not depend on these rare magnets. If that happens, it could be a major change not only for Tesla, but for the entire EV industry. First, let's understand what rare earth magnets actually are. These are special and extremely powerful magnets used in electric motors. They help the motor produce more power while using less energy. That is why many of the world's leading EV companies use them in their motors. But the problem is that the minerals needed to make these magnets are not easily available everywhere. This is where China comes into the picture. For many years, China has played a major role in the global supply of rare earth materials. A large portion of the minerals used around the world either comes from China or is processed there. This means that if there is any disruption in the supply chain trade, tensions increase, or production is affected, the entire EV industry could feel the impact. Tesla wants to reduce this dependence. Elon Musk has suggested several times that future motors can be built without rare earth materials. The company believes that if such technology is developed, motor production could become more secure, more stable, and more affordable in the long run. This is the most important part of Tesla's rare earth-free vision. This could also have a direct impact on cost. When a product requires fewer rare and expensive resources, its manufacturing cost can be positively affected. For EV companies, the motor is a significant expense. If motors can be made using less costly resources, it could also affect the overall price of the vehicle. That is why Tesla continues to search for technologies that can help reduce costs. But it is not only about price. Supply chain security is just as important. Over the last few years, the world has seen how even a small disruption in the supply chain can affect major industries. If a company's technology depends on a limited number of resources, future risks can increase. Tesla wants its motor technology to be something that can be produced easily in different parts of the world without being heavily dependent on a single region. The environmental aspect is also very important. The mining and processing of rare earth materials are often linked to environmental challenges. Mining activities can affect land water and the surrounding environment. If future motors can be developed without needing these resources, environmental pressure could also be reduced to some extent. That is why many experts see this direction not only as a technological change, but also as a step toward a more sustainable future. That is why there is so much discussion about Tesla's new motor. It may not just be a new motor, but also a sign of a change in thinking. Less dependence, greater security, lower cost, and better stability. These are the goals Tesla appears to be moving toward. How much more efficient can this new motor be? The real strength of any electric vehicle is not just in its battery, but in how intelligently it uses the energy stored inside that battery. That is why the biggest discussion around Tesla's new motor is not about its power, but about its efficiency. Because in the EV world, higher efficiency is often even more important than higher power. When an electric motor operates, not all of the energy coming from the battery reaches the wheels directly. A portion of it is lost along the way. This is known as energy loss. This loss happens for different reasons. Some electricity turns into heat. Some energy is lost because of friction, and some power is wasted due to the limitations of the components inside the motor. That is why engineers constantly try to build motors where energy waste is kept as low as possible. At the same time, heat generation is also a major challenge. When a motor runs continuously at high speed, its temperature begins to rise. Excess heat not only increases energy loss, but can also affect the motor's performance over time. That is why Tesla is focusing on better cooling and better energy management in its new design. If the motor stays cooler, it can continue operating at its full capability for a longer period. This is where efficiency improvements come into the picture. Tesla's goal is not only to make the motor more powerful, but also to make it smarter. If the motor wastes less energy than before, a larger portion of the battery can be used directly to move the vehicle. This means that even with the same battery, the vehicle can travel a greater distance. That is why people are talking about more range. For the average customer, the most important question is how far the vehicle can go on a single charge. If the motor becomes more efficient, range can increase even without increasing the battery size. This is considered a major achievement for any EV company, but the benefits are not limited to range alone. Better battery usage is equally important. When a motor uses energy more efficiently, the load on the battery can be reduced. This can help maintain battery performance for a longer time and improve the overall performance of the vehicle. That is why Tesla works on a strategy of improving both the motor and the battery together. If we look at all of this in real life, the real-world benefits become even more important. Lower energy consumption means less charging is required. Less charging means saving both time and money. Long-distance travel can become easier, and the overall ownership experience can improve. These are the benefits that directly reach everyday people. But the other side of the story is just as interesting, because achieving higher efficiency alone is not enough. If the technology becomes too expensive, its benefits remain limited. That is why Tesla's next goal is to reduce production cost. For this, the company is working on manufacturing simplification. This means designing the motor in a way that makes it easier to build. When the design becomes simpler, the production process also becomes easier. At the same time, using fewer materials can further reduce costs. Less material means lower expenses and less complexity. Faster assembly also plays a major role. If a motor can be built in less time, factory production capacity increases. Tesla already uses automation on a large scale in its factories. The new motor can be designed so that robots and automated systems can assemble it faster than before. Tesla's Gigafactory strategy also works in the same direction. Gigafactory integration means producing motors, batteries, and other components more efficiently within the same system. This can help save cost, time, and resources. A threat to BYD, Hyundai, and Toyota. Whenever Tesla talks about a new technology, its impact does not remain limited to Tesla alone. The entire auto industry starts paying attention. The reason is that competition in the electric vehicle world has become stronger than ever before. A few years ago, Tesla was considered the biggest player in the EV market. But the situation has changed. Many major companies from China, Japan, Korea, and Europe are moving forward rapidly. If Tesla's new motor technology succeeds, it could have a direct impact on its competitors. First, let's talk about EV competition. Today, almost every major auto company is spending billions of dollars on electric vehicles. All of them have the same goal: more range, lower cost, and better technology. That is why every year we see new batteries, new motor designs, and new charging technologies. Staying ahead in this race is not easy. But Tesla's biggest challenge now comes from Chinese EV makers. Over the last few years, Chinese companies have made remarkable progress in the EV market. They have not only started producing vehicles in large numbers, but they have also offered good technology at lower prices. That is why Chinese companies are rapidly strengthening their position in many markets. Among these companies, the biggest name is BYD. BYD's biggest advantage is that the company produces many of its important components, including batteries, by itself. This helps keep costs low. BYD has already become one of the world's largest EV companies and is giving Tesla strong competition in many markets. If Tesla's new motor reduces production costs and improves efficiency, it could challenge BYD's biggest strength. It is not only BYD. Companies like Hyundai Motor Company and Toyota Motor Corporation are also not falling behind in this race. Hyundai is continuously working on new electric technologies and fast charging systems. At the same time, Toyota is trying to build a strong position in the electric vehicle market by using its experience in battery and hybrid technologies. That is why the competition is likely to become even more interesting in the coming years. This is why it is being called a global market battle. The competition is no longer limited to one country or one company. Companies from the United States, China, Europe, Japan, and Korea are all trying to move ahead of each other. The company that can offer better technology at a lower cost could gain the biggest advantage in the future. At the same time, the technology race is becoming faster. Some companies are improving batteries, some are increasing charging speeds, and others are changing motor designs. Tesla's new motor is also part of this technological race. If this technology truly proves to be more efficient and more affordable, other companies may also have to make changes to their own designs. The biggest impact could be on market share. In the auto industry, market share is extremely important. If Tesla starts building better vehicles at a lower cost, it could attract more customers. On the other hand, if competing companies cannot respond quickly, their market share could be affected. That is why the entire industry closely watches every new announcement from Tesla. What are the biggest challenges facing this new motor? Hearing about new technology is always exciting. When a company claims that its new motor will be more efficient, more affordable, and more powerful than before, people naturally get excited. But in the real world, simply creating a good design is not enough. For any new technology to become successful, it has to pass through many difficult tests. The same is true for Tesla's new motor. No matter how advanced its design may be, it will have to overcome several major challenges before reaching the market. The first challenge is reliability testing. This means proving that the motor can operate reliably over a long period of time. A technology may perform brilliantly in a laboratory, but real-world conditions are completely different. Millions of people use their vehicles every day. Some drive in busy cities, some on highways, and others on rough roads. The motor must deliver consistent performance in every situation. Tesla will need to ensure that the new motor can operate for years without major problems. Then comes the challenge of mass production. Building a prototype of a new technology is one thing, but producing it in millions of units is a completely different task. Many times, a technology that appears successful on a small scale starts creating problems on a larger scale. Tesla must prove that it can manufacture this new motor in high volumes, quickly, affordably, and with consistent quality. Durability is equally important. When a customer buys a car, they expect it to last for many years. The motor is one of the most important parts of the vehicle. If the motor starts failing early, or its performance declines quickly, customer confidence can be affected. That is why Tesla must show that the new motor can maintain its capability not only in the beginning, but also over the long term. Another major challenge is extreme conditions. Weather is not the same everywhere in the world. Some places experience intense heat, some face freezing temperatures, and others have constant humidity. The motor must work properly in all of these conditions: hot desert roads, snowy regions, mountain routes, and heavy traffic. Performance must remain stable everywhere. That is why new technologies are tested for long periods under different conditions. Maintenance issues are also an important topic. The more advanced a technology becomes, the more complex its repair and maintenance can sometimes be. If something goes wrong with the motor, how easy will it be to fix? Will service centers be ready for it? Will repair costs be high? These are important questions for customers. Tesla must make sure that the new motor is not only advanced, but also practical. In addition, scaling challenges are equally important. Suppose the new motor proves successful and demand grows rapidly in the market. Tesla will then need large amounts of raw materials, production capacity, and supply chain support. Many companies develop great technologies, but struggle to increase production at the same pace as rising demand. This is often the stage where major plans face difficulties. That is why Tesla spends a long time working on any new technology before launching it. The company understands that making attractive claims is not enough. Real success comes when a technology performs just as well in the hands of millions of customers as it did during testing. And that is why Tesla has still not fully introduced it to the world. What role will this play in the Cybercab Optimus robot? Elon Musk has never talked about building just a car company. His goal has always been to create a complete system where vehicles, robots, artificial intelligence, and energy technologies are connected with each other. That is why Tesla's new motor could also have an impact on projects like Cybertruck and Optimus robot. First, let's talk about the Cybertruck project. Tesla's Cybertruck is considered a vehicle that can transport people from one place to another in a fully autonomous way. In vehicles like this, speed is not the only important factor. Efficiency matters even more. If a robo-taxi is operating on the roads all day long, it needs to travel greater distances while using less energy. This is where the new motor could play an important role. If the motor is more efficient, Cybertruck could complete more trips while consuming less electricity. Robot applications are also very interesting. Tesla's Optimus robot is not just a walking robot. The company wants it to help humans in factories, warehouses, and everyday tasks in the future. But one of the biggest challenges for any robot is efficient energy use. If a robot needs charging too often, its usefulness can become limited. That is why a lighter, more efficient motor that consumes less energy could also be important in the field of robotics. This is where the importance of energy efficiency becomes even greater. Whether it is Cybertruck or Optimus robot, both will need energy to operate for long periods of time. If the motor consumes less electricity, the battery can last longer. This means more work, less charging, and better performance. Autonomous systems are also moving in the same direction. In the future, more machines and vehicles may operate without human intervention. Reliable and energy-efficient motors are extremely important for such systems. Tesla's new technology could be developed with this goal in mind. That is why Elon Musk often talks about future mobility. He believes that the way people travel could change in the coming years. Autonomous vehicles, shared transportation, and smart machines could become a normal part of everyday life. If that happens, motor technology will be one of the most important foundations behind that transformation. All of this becomes part of the Tesla ecosystem. Tesla does not just build cars. The company is also working on battery software, AI robots, and energy solutions. The new motor could become an important link connecting all of these parts together. But Elon Musk's dream is not limited to cars, and that brings us to another big question. Could this technology change the entire auto industry? Many experts believe that future EV standards could change completely in the coming years. Just as better batteries and fast charging are considered important today, more efficient and lower-cost motors could become the new benchmark tomorrow. If Tesla's new technology succeeds, it could open the door to next-generation motors. Other companies may also try to adopt similar designs. This could lead to a global manufacturing shift where factories move toward new production methods. Motors that consume less energy could also help with lower energy consumption. This does not only mean longer range, but also better use of resources. That is what strengthens the goal of sustainable transport, where transportation becomes cleaner and more efficient. Elon Musk's long-term vision has always been to create a world that is fully based on sustainable energy. That is why Tesla does not only build electric vehicles, but also works in areas such as batteries, solar energy, AI, and robotics. The new motor could be an important part of this larger vision. Predicting the future is never easy. But one thing can certainly be said. The direction Tesla is moving in could have an impact on the entire auto industry. If the company succeeds in making motors that are more efficient, more affordable, and easier to produce at scale, it could influence how future electric vehicles are designed and built. The goal is not just to improve performance, but also to make electric transportation more accessible, more reliable, and more sustainable for people around the world. That is why many industry experts are closely watching Tesla's progress in this area. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your opinion in the comments.